it's a faith. You know, like you can be Arabic and you can be Christian. It doesn't mean that you're Muslim. I know Christian Arabs. So, you know, Jews aren't a race because, you know, like I have many Jewish friends. So we were having dinner last night. I was having dinner with a Lebanese Jew, with an Iranian Jew, and with a German that's from Poland. So those are all different races. So being Jewish is not a race; it's a belief. Unfortunately, it has been attached to maybe one race of Jews, and so we see that as what it means to be Jewish. But if you go to Yemen, if you go to Ethiopia, you know, you'll see Jews that look like me. Remember, they're Jews. Yeah, it's not any special. You know, that's it. They try to separate us by using those names, but they're Jews. They're full-fledged Jews from David. They have the Solomonic. They have the Ark in Ethiopia. And remember that the 10 lost tribes as well, which is a fact. This is not that Times Square Israelite, you know, this is just a fact that there are 10 lost tribes. So that tells you that there are tribes that are all over Africa. There are tribes that maybe be in Asia. There are tribes in India. There are tribes all over, right? So it's not a race. It just so happens that I guess the two tribes that survived all of the destruction, the death and destruction, happened to they fled. Remember, Israel is in Africa.
Judites and Levites.
Yeah, but Israel is in Africa. Egypt is Africa. You know, don't believe that Europeanized, you know, distortion of facts. Right. Egypt is not the Middle East.
That's a fact.
And Israel was a providence in Egypt. Right. So when Moses left Egypt and led the Israelites out of...
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there unto this life foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show. Lord willing, your brothers be edified through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Brother had sent this to the chat. Shout out to that brother, Yashanom. Yeah, he's taking shots to the Hebrew Israelites that's out there in the highways and the byways preaching the gospel, because he sees things, you know, Slakia, how can I say? Out of these celebrities are not the end all to be all. In other words, these celebrities are not, they're not qualified. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, that's a true word I'm looking at. They're not qualified to say anything of any sort because they are all bought and sold. So this is the rapper, former rapper named Shyne, same rapper that took the L for this guy P. Diddy and that shooting in the club many years ago. He came back out, released from prison, and he got into self to be considered himself to be Jewish, all right? And he's just following what these small hatters, Talmudic Jews do. And that was just pretty much just a cover up. Basically, he's, with him not knowing, he probably knows now, but he is a quote unquote Israelite by blood, but he's been taught, as everybody else, that celebrity and people that have been compromised, that you have to be converted to the Talmudic way of doing things. So you got to follow their religion, their stuff, even though you are a natural born Israelite. Now, there's a lot of things that he said. And he did say a lot of things because he tried to dismiss, 12 tribes, the 12th tribe sign that's out in the highways and byways, which is prophetic, might I add. Matter of fact, let's start with that, because it shows you how warped these people's minds are, and they just eating up whatever he say because he's a celebrity. He's he's shyne. He was locked up maybe over 10 years or something like that. He did a bid. He came back. He's he changed up his look. Changed up. Oh, now another thing, his look, shaving off his beard. That's not that's against the law. So you could sit there and say people are Jew by religion. Well, then if that's the case, you have to follow the law, right? But anyway, Ezekiel 37:10, I believe. Ezekiel 37. Oh, I'm slacking. I gotta go down. One stick. It says 16. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick, and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel. Now, if those guys had any indication, they would know the actual history, because they just said everybody is just Judah and Levi, which is more than Judah and Levi. Now, when the Lord told Ezekiel to put this in a stick, Judah, which is what? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. That was the southern kingdom, right? Because the kingdom was split after Solomon. All right, Rehoboam took the southern kingdom and Jeroboam took the northern kingdom. So the Lord saying for Judah and for the children of Israel and his companions, then, which is talking about the three tribes, then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph and the stick of Ephraim, which is talking about, and for all of the house of Israel and his companions, which are the rest of the tribes. So this is what makes the 12 tribes sign. And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of Israel, when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, say, would thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel and his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand. So all the stuff that he just make mention, he did not mention any of this. In other words, this is prophecy. Now the small hatters could go around and tell the world that they are the people of the children of Israel, but none of them going out in the highways and byways with a stick to show which people are the children of Israel, which is clearly telling you this is a prophetic thing. So this is why I said these guys are not qualified to say anything, because they're not. All right. Hosea 1 and 10, it says, Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them. Now they said the places. It said the place. That place is Northern America. All right. This is the bulk. This is the eyes of the Lord is upon. This is where the true Israelites would know who they are. It's gonna say it. It says, yet it says, where it was said unto them, you are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, you are the sons of the living power. Let's go into the history real quick. Judah and Israel would not, the only time they was together in captivity, which is on Jeremiah 50 and 33, the only time they was ever together was in the land of Egypt. All right, we was together in the land of Egypt. So this is prophecy. So it says Jeremiah 50 and 33. Let me get that real quick. And it says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah will oppress together. So it's giving you an indication that the 12 tribes are together, but they are oppressed. And all them that took them captive held them fast, and they refused to let them go. So it's not a religious thing, it's really by force. All right. So he's trying to, as they all are, trying to change the narrative for what it truly is. But it's too little too late. The jig is up. The world knows. And the main people know who they are. Revelations 11 and 18. I'm sorry, not 18. 8. It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And this is a clear-cut indication. He's not talking about the physical Sodom, because nobody can dwell in that place. Right? And he's not talking about the physical Egypt. He said Egypt is part of Africa, where we was taken out of our place. All right? That's what it says in Deuteronomy 28th chapter, 68th verse. All right? That the Lord's going to take us, get us to Egypt, again, with ships. Also, it tells you in Joel, the 3rd chapter, that they took us out of our border, took us out of that land. So, yeah, he's correct. The land of Israel is connected to the land that they call Africa, because the land of Israel is a bridge between Africa, what you call the land of Africa, and the land of Asia. That's a major, is like a bridge. So they interconnected. All right. But everybody's on this Africa tip. But the focus point is not Africa. It's not all these different places. It's America. America is a key pivotal point. All right. It tells you, I'm just going to quote some scriptures. In Genesis, the 49th chapter, that we will be in the neck of our enemies. All right. So let me get that real quick. In Baruch. So as you sit there, you listen to these so-called celebrities and their rants of what they telling people. You already know that they bought, they compromised, they sold, all that good stuff. Because why is he coming in defense of these small hatters? He's saying it's a religion. It's more than a religion. It is a bloodline. When he first came out, he said it. That's the ironic part about it. He said it out of his own mouth that you are Jew by blood. He's a natural Jew. So now he's saying it's a religion. I can't remember when he said it, but I remember he said that. So it shows you all these people are compromised. All right? Don't follow these celebrities. These celebrities are not worth the nickels and dimes that Esau sold them to, because they're going to lead people to astray. Real quick, Baruch 4. I just want to get to the point. It's the precepts of Genesis, the 49th chapter, but it says it. Cool. Baruch 4 and 6, it says, it's not the point, but it's, you were sold to the nations, not for your destructions, which was a key pivotal point. Now, at the time of the Babylonians, Israel was taken from their land to Babylon. All right? They were not sold abroad like people may think. So that was not the prophecy. This is talking about the future prophecy, which Deuteronomy 28:68 explains. All right, we were sold to. It says you were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath and was delivered to your enemies. So this is the main reason why Matter of fact, is this one? This is the main reason why the Lord got us out the land, because we went off as a people. He deliberately cast us out, which was prophetic. But it does tells, yeah, there it is, verse 18. For he that brought these plagues upon thee will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. I'm sorry, that's not the one. We further down, we keep going. But it tells you that your hand shall be upon the neck of your enemies. And America is the main hub for all nations to come to, is the control center of all this wickedness around the world. So the main focal point is America. Don't believe the hypeness like Nate would do. All right. And go to these different places. Yeah, the Israelites scattered abroad. We all know that. But the Lord, Yahushua, said that he was going to send forth the angels to deliver those that scattered abroad. The focal point is America. Okay? And it says, hold on. There it is. No, sorry. I see the destruction. There it is. It's 25. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High, for thy enemy have persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction. Because where's the main focus? The main destruction is going to take place in America. And the end shall trod upon his neck. So, going back to this, Revelations 12 and 8, it says, then the dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is the great city. All there's cities throughout the whole four corners of the earth. The greatest city is America. America is a land which they call it each individual person a citizen. All right. But this is the greatest city of all. This is the focal point of the world, which spiritually is called Sodom. Why is spiritually called Sodom? Well, we all know that. I'm so happy to be watching Set It Off, and this bitch Queen Latifah played a straight up lesbian in this film. All right, a straight up lesbian, and this is the first time. I remember back in the days, everybody kind of hinted that she was, but a lot of these things was a secret, a celebrity misleading people once again. All right, but she played a role so very well because that's what she was. And to this day, this is highly celebrated. All right, and it says in Egypt, because we was born into bondage, is where also our Lord was crucified. The image of our Lord is X'd out. It says in the day of the people and the kindreds and tongues and nations shall see the dead bodies 3 days and a half, 350 years, shall not suffer the dead bodies to be put in graves. Graves meaning what? Resting in peace. So they seen the dead state of the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, not letting them know who they are, not expounding to what they're capable of, completely destroying who they are. All right, because all these other nations know exactly who we are. Every last one of them. And since every last one of them know who exactly we are, who we are as a people, and refuse to let us know, they're all guilty. Okay? And it says, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry and send gifts one to another, which the gifts was actually talking about slavery. It was talking about slavery. So yes, the prophecy is fulfilled that we be scattered through the four corners of the earth. So that part, he's not saying nothing wrong. But the main part, the main people have forgotten who they are. All right? And it was a joint conglomeration of all nations, Psalms 83rd chapter, gives you a hint to make sure, Psalms the second chapter, to make sure that we did not know who we are. It's been a great campaign to actually to dismiss the fact that we are the true people of the Lord. And he knows it extremely well. That's why you cannot look at these celebrities as anything special because they have certain talents. They are all bought and sold. All right? It says, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell upon the earth, which is talking about the kingdoms, in which we just established blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. So this thing of ours is more than a religion, which go into this real quick. St. John 4:22, because this, the Lord had to expound to this and leave this as a clue. All right. It says, for future, it says, St. John 4:20, says, our fathers worship. This is the woman in the well. It says at verse 19, the woman saith unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers worship in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. So she had this mindset that because she dwelt in the land, that she was an Israelite. Right? This is the mindset. When you go into the history of Israel, when the 10 tribes were cast out of the land of Samaria, what ended up happening? The king of Assyria set up different Hamitic people to dwell in the land. So in their mind, they were Israelites. In their mind. Because they had the laws, the customs, because according to the history, nobody could have dwelt in that land without knowing the laws of the Lord. All right? That's why when you go into the history, it tells you that the lions killed off the people. They had to get a priest, a Levite priest, to teach them the law so they could dwell in the land. So they already had in their mind that they were the people because they had the tradition, the tradition of that. Okay, which is not the fulfillment of Ezekiel the 37th chapter, Hosea the 1st chapter. Why? Because the people would not know who they were. All right, Revelations 11th chapter. The people, the main people. All right, he said, yeah, a lot of them from the lineage of David. So all of a sudden, everybody's from the lineage of David. All right. So nobody else is from a different lineage. Because I remember, what is this guy's name? Rabbi something. He said, it was, he was going back and forth with Jake. And he said, yeah, I come from the direct lineage of David. So I don't want to boast or brag about it. That's what the man said. So here it is. The small hatters will tell you, even though they're lying, that they come from the people. And now this guy is saying, oh, no, it's a religion. So what? So anyway, verse 21. Yahushua said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. You worship you know not what. We know what we worship. For the salvation is of the Jews, which is Judah, Benjamin, Levi, which was at the time, but it's all of Israel. I'm just trying to see. All right, so they just kept it. Really supposed to say the salvation is of Israel. All right. Verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. So now the Lord even narrowed down even tighter. All right. Your true worshipers. So can anybody come in to say they are of the Lord's? No. You have to come from that lineage. All right. And there's plenty of scriptures that tells you this. You have to come from that royal lineage. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. But it gets deeper than that. You have to be of the elect. That's how you worship the Father in spirit and truth. Then you have to know, and it gets even more deeper than that. You have to be of the elect, and you have to know the name of the Lord. So the Lord narrowed it down where not any person can just come around and say, oh, I am of this because of this. It doesn't work like that. It tells you in Romans the 8th chapter, the Spirit bear witness with our spirit. So you're talking about an outside force who knows exactly what's going on, sees everything, who knows exactly who's who, is witnessing brothers and sisters, I gotta say it like that, finding out they're Israelites. So it doesn't matter if this person, that person try to discredit who we are. All right. The Lord knows through spirit and truth. All right. Verse 24. The Most High is spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So you have to have this, the key. All right. You got to come from a lineage. You have to be elected by him. And you have to have the key. And that key is his name. All right. That key is following the law, statutes, and commandments. So that completely cuts everybody outside the outsiders off, period. All right. They're not qualified. So somebody like Shyne, who's going around, who's by blood, he said it himself many moons ago. I think when he came out that he is Jew by blood. So he knows exactly who he is, where he goes, and so forth. But he brings out something that's quite confusion. Why? Because they are all the agents of confusion. This is what they would do. All right. They would sell you in Micah 3rd chapter. Let me get this real quick. I'm gonna make this too long. 3 and about. You know what? 2. Who hate the good and love the evil, who pluck off their skin from off them, and their flesh from off their bones. So when you go into Ezekiel the 37th chapter, which I read earlier, just that part, but tells you about the valley of the dry bones and how the Lord told Ezekiel to prophesy, and these dead bodies actually resurrected. They got back their flesh. They got back everything, which is symbolic of what? Coming from a dead state, coming alive again, and returning back to their lineage, returning back to who they are. So until, matter of fact, let me go 3 and 1. It says, and I said, Hear, I pray you, O heads of Jacob, and ye princes of Israel. Is it not for you to know judgment? And that's another major factor about learning the Lord's spirit and truth. You have to know the Lord's judgment. You have to know the Lord. You got to know the Lord. All right. Once you understand and you know the Lord, you understand what pleases the Lord. And what normally pleases the Lord is like I just read in St. John. So you have a lot of leaders of Israel that's misusing their power. All right. Who hate the good So they get mad at brothers going out there. So it tells you they hate him that rebuketh at the gate, which is symbolic because the gate represents the leadership. The one that's rebuking the leaders is the prophets. So they hate those that do good. All right. It says, and love the evil, which telling the people, like Christians, when they say God loves everybody, anybody can be this, anybody can be that, who pluck off their skin identity from off them and their flesh from off their bone. So taking your identity, also taking what? You're not from the tribe of Israel. You're from this tribe. You're not even an Israelite. Who also eat the flesh of my people and fillet their skin from off them, and they break their bones. Because the bones, when you go into, I'm just going to quote some scriptures. It tells you in the same chapter, Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, each one went to their bone, meaning your bone is connected to your tribe. So when you go into precept, that would be Genesis, I forgot what chapter, but when Laban saw Jacob, he said, "Truly, you're my flesh and blood, and flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone." Meaning, you're my relative. You're related to me. I also tell you that in, I'm like I said, I'm quoting some scriptures. When Ahab took and gave, no, that wasn't Ahab. It was I believe it's First Samuel, the 7th chapter. When David took back Judah, and the Judites said, all Judah said to David, "We are your flesh and your bone." All right. Like I said, I'm quoting scriptures. I don't want to make this too long, but it says, let me read it again. It says, who also eat the flesh of my people and fillet their skin from off them, and they break their bones and chop them in pieces. As for the pot, because right now the majority of our people is in a destroyed state, and flesh within the cauldron, meaning they devouring. Then shall they cry unto the Lord, but he will not hear them. He will even hide his face from them at that time, as they have behaved themselves ill in their doings. And that's, once you teach the people wrong, you're preventing the people's connection to the Most High. All right? And that's why all these people popping off them woodworks, these true agents of chaos, to leave the people remaining in this dead state. Because what benefit does Esau have allowing blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans knowing who they are? You could be anything under the sun. They will not give two ish. But once you call yourself a Hebrew Israelite, there's a problem. So let's say real quick to the spirit. Shalom to the elect of the nation Israel. Shalom.